Hello, viewers! My name is Luigi Means Me, and welcome back to LEGO Dimensions. With me, as always, special guest co-host, Hylian Pikachu25. Last time we finished up the Portal level pack, and today we are going to be continuing with the main story, going into our next level.
Ooh, boy. Also, for the ones who've been keeping up with the saga, the whole two of you so far, no homework tonight, thankfully. Finals, though, so I'm drowning.
She'll be fine. She'll be out here in a few weeks. We may have an episode in the future where we finally get to play local co-op.
I look forward to that.
I haven't told her this yet, but if we end up doing a local co-op episode, I plan on having her control the ToyPad, so get ready for that.
Just me scrolling for 5 minutes like, yeah.
I'm going to give her, no instructions and see how she does. I'll be like, find this character. Okay, give me a minute.
So, I'm just going to... At a certain point, I think that's going to be the first video you actually have to edit.
I'm telling you, I ain't editing anything. I want the audience to see what it's like to play with a new player.
Oh boy. It's gonna give a real little big brother kind of vibes where it's like, oh god, Mom said I had to play with you for the weekend.
Wait, it's giving me the option to hire Unikitty, even though I have her on screen right now.
Hey, come on, you know her business hasn't been doing well.
Oh, now it's gone, okay. Is this working?
Yes.
Yay!
Be glad, that's one of many few references that I know.
Dude, I fucking love that line.
It's a good one.
I reference it to you, every single time I watch that movie, I will post it in the chat, so you know it, because I watch that movie all the time.
I have watched that movie twice, unfortunately.
I've watched that movie probably 8 or 9 times.
Ooh.
Not counting the times I basically watched the whole movie by playing the game.
Once, when I watched the movie, it was with some friends, because they had heard that I hadn't watched the movie yet, and it had been a couple, 2 years, I think, since the movie had come out, and I was like, oh, I plan on watching it, I just never got around to it. So they forced me to watch it, per the usual.
How did it take you 2 years to watch the movie when, you're dating me, when I'm as big of a LEGO fan as I am?
You didn't watch movies with me.
I wanted to watch it with you! You said no!
The markings on this device appear.
Yeah, because by the time you said, you wanted to watch it, I already seen it, and it was one of those movies where I was just like, I just kind of want to watch it once and then be done with it.
Blasphemy, that movie was fantastic.
It's fantastic, but it's just not my kind of movie.
Blasphemy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I meant to go into this before we went on that huge Unikitty and LEGO movie tangent. That was our first example of rainbow LEGO objects. In year 1, when this game first came out, Unikitty was the only character that could manipulate those. Meaning that at bare minimum for 100%, you had to have 3 different LEGO movie characters. We'll get into the third one a little bit later in this level.
I don't know, I think we should leave it a mystery.
I mean, I'm going to have to use them later in this level because, I'm 100%ing every level. I'll say though, they make this look quite good, but I don't know if you remember the level order at all, but this is, we're in Simpsons right now.
Oh yeah, there's that place where I told you, hey, just gotta go back and do this thing, because you unfortunately forgot, and we would have spent hours there if I hadn't noticed.
That is true, there was a point, when we were doing the adventure worlds together, there were times where we couldn't do one a whole world in one session just because we both got too busy and had to leave. And we had that happen at one point in the Simpsons world, and the next session I just moved on to the next world, forgetting I hadn't finished Simpsons yet. So we were like 2/3 of the way through the next world, and then she asked me, she was like, did we ever actually complete Simpsons? And it turned out, no, we hadn't. So that was an interesting, usually that never happens to me, because I usually remember pretty damn well where we were at, but not that bad.
Everybody has those days.
Was that a song you were trying to reference? Because it certainly sounded like it.
It is a song.
I couldn't quite tell if you were trying to sing or not.
I have a very monotone voice when I'm not trying.
I mean, I just assumed it was like the tune of the song. Because there are songs that are very monotone like that.
It was a Disney Channel song. I can't for the life of me remember what it was.
All those old Disney Channel shows blending together in your head.
Oh, for sure. What I remember was the lyric, everybody makes mistakes, everybody has those days, and it's something else, and it got...
You know what that,
it was weird.
You know what that sounds like?
What?
That sounds like something from Austin and Ally.
No, it was before that. Like, way before that. Like, back when Hannah Montana was like in the...
I was about to say, was it Hannah Montana? Because that was my next guess.
I'm thinking it was Hannah Montana, because it doesn't sound quite right, like a Hannah Montana.
It doesn't really sound like her tune, does it?
Yeah, no.
I don't know, I feel like they could make that into a pop song.
Oh, hold on, I gotta look it up.
It's gonna bug you for the rest of the day.
It might, because it sounds like super, like, recognizable.
It sounds like a song I would listen to, so if you find it, send it my way.
The foundation element has been located. It's in the nuclear power station.
And now the time is... I'm trying not to... Oh, did you find it?
It was Hannah Montana.
Called it.
Yeah, no, it's literally like, I think it's like the opening song.
No, the opening song is Best of Both Worlds.
Yeah, I meant to say like not like the intro to the TV show, but like one of the ones she would open concerts with.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's literally called Nobody's Perfect, and the lyrics literally are, everybody makes mistakes, everybody has those days.
Oh, it's that song?
Yeah.
I know that song for the dumbest reason.
Oh, no.
I think you know exactly what I'm about to start talking about. Do you remember the microwave show?
Yep.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. So for those of you who don't know, because that was very old YouTube. God, I feel fucking old.
Ancient.
It was a group of college kids, and they ran a YouTube show where the whole point of it was putting things in a microwave just to see what would happen. It was dumb, but it was funny. What the fuck?
You good?
Alright, no more, mister.
I just got launched off of the micromanager at like Mach 10 speed.
I mean...
I'm glad I got that one on recording.
If you like that sometimes.
Anyway, so yeah, the whole point of the show was just dumb fun, putting shit in a microwave and see what would happen. One of the episodes they did was a Hannah Montana pen. And I
Played that song?
Yeah, it did. That's why I remember it. But I remember that episode super vividly because the pen itself in the microwave didn't really do much. It just caught on fire a little bit. But as they're pulling it out of the microwave, the main guy goes to slap his hand down on it to put the fire out, and it fucking explodes. So they keep they're freaking out. They're like, Hannah Montana almost took off Jory's hand. It was really funny to me.
Hey, quick off-topic thing. You remember how, before the recording started, you remember how I said, I felt bad about, torturing those Minecraft villagers.
Oh god, here we go.
So like, I just got like 3 new librarians, and all of them had mending, and I just spent the past 2 days trying to get it to happen.
You know, I have a method for swapping around villagers so you didn't have to get that many librarians.
Honestly, that's why I call this the practice world, because I'm learning some of the deeper mechanics, so...
Like, if you take away the what was it, whatever the fucking book thing is, if you take that away, they'll go back to being normal villagers, and then if you put it back down, they become librarians again with a new inventory. That was...
I didn't wait long enough for them to turn back to normal villagers.
That was how I got a mending book, for my Electra in the group chat, or in the group run. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, I just realized that I completely stole the Electra, and it's in my inventory so no one else gets it.
No comment on that.
Look, man, Josh and I were the ones who actually fought the dragon and went hunting for it.
Again, no comments on it.
I feel like every episode is going to have some sort of fucking Minecraft discussion just because we're us.
It might start mellowing out because it's not that I'm starting to lose interest in the game, but I'm having like slightly shorter sessions because I got other games to play in preparation for some stuff that's coming.
Uh-oh. Are you practicing Pikmin?
No. It's ironically not Pikmin.
Maybe you should.
No. I refuse. You're gonna have to... You want to make me play Pikmin multiplayer? I'm gonna make you suffer.
Or, like I said, I'll just fucking carry your ass.
No, it's actually Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I'm trying to finish that.
Oh, that is such a good game.
It is. I will say, I was definitely surprised that that one of the bosses was actually really hard.
Oh yeah. Oh, the game doesn't fuck around.
Yeah, no, like, before, so the bosses were like, oh, yeah, it took me a couple tries, but I did. This one, it was hard.
Maybe the keystone.
Let's check it out.
Did anyone care about Kirby spoilers?
Dude, the game just came out like 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, you really can't talk about spoilers for a game until it's at least a year old.
That's fair. So anyways, the ending of Xenoblade...
Please, let's just not with Xenoblade 3 on the horizon.
No, yeah, I was gonna see what your reaction was.
Please, just let's not. I already don't like to spoil that game, but with Xenoblade 3 on the horizon, now is a horrible time to be spoiling the first 2 games.
Also, I could hear your soul leave your body when I started that.
It was like just the briefest of deer in the headlight moments before I spoke.
Because I was like, oh, more than a year old, huh?
You're such an asshole, and I know you know it.
Oh, that year. But I know it.
On the topic of Xenoblade 3, though, we can discuss some of the promotional things that have come out. They've been showing off recently some of the new areas, and like, I don't know if I showed you this yet. We actually got a sneak peek at what the map is going to be looking like.
Yeah, I did see it. You didn't send it to me, but I did see it on Twitter. And I'm actually really fascinated by it.
It looks like they took the formula from the Xenoblade 2 maps and expanded on it, because one of the biggest issues with Xenoblade 2's maps was the lack of, being able to tell what level you were on. So now they're like using different shades to point out different layers.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool that they were actually listening to the fans, figuring out what they didn't like about the map in Xenoblade 2, and fixed it. I can't fucking wait for the battle mechanics though, because 7 party members on the field at the same time, that's gonna be fucking chaotic.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so the other Lego Movie character I was talking about earlier, we got Emmett here. In year 1, he was the only character. I need to stress character because vehicle has this ability as well, but I don't like using vehicles for character abilities because they don't tend to work very well. But he was the only character in year 1 to have the drill ability.
Wait, am I alright to call you Lucy? Do people know? Oh, man.
I just forget that whole line. Like, I don't know if I ever showed it to you, but I'll send it to you later. The line of that Emmett says to Wildstyle when he sees her in game. It sounds very funny to me, but also very like has a slight kind of like, I'll send it to you real quick.
Okay.
I go. Apologies for nothing happening on screen, guys. I'm looking something up real quick.
Unfortunately, the one who should be looking things up cannot, because I have no idea what the line is.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point of this.
Hey, they gotta know, because I'm usually the Googler. The 3 episodes that we've done this.
We're on episode 4 now.
4 episodes that we've done this.
You forgot that our first session was 2 episodes, didn't you?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I wonder if he's done that before.
I was just wondering, like, is it just me, or does that sound ever so slightly like, a subtle LGBTQ reference? Like, is it okay if I say this? Do people know this about you yet? Once again, deer in the headlight moment. I think that's just me.
Trying to think of like whether or not like things can be like that without being explicit. As certain characters from Xeno 2 comes to mind.
Oh, I know. It's what immediately popped into my head as soon as I heard it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it was 100% not intentional, but I thought it was interesting to bring up. Hang on.
Hello?
My ToyPad emulator freaked out.
Uh-oh.
This is a great level. So there's a cool little Easter egg that I do want to discuss coming up in just a minute. Punch that out. Ow. I forgot that could still hurt you even on the bridge. So this sign right here that Mr. Burns is switching, that said 323 days without otherworldly invasion, that is actually a reference to the Futurama Simpsons crossover episode, which did release 323 days before the release of LEGO Dimensions. So they actually... It's such a neat little detail, and I'm like... That must have been so hard to actually get in. That must have been like one of the last things they did in the game, just because they had to nail down the actual release timing of the game before they could do that. Mm-hmm. But that is such a cool little detail. I don't know if this game had or the episode for that matter. I don't know if either one had like different international releases. But it would be cool if those got reflected in the different international releases as well.
Like regions and stuff.
Yeah, if anyone in the comments knows, be sure to let me know. I'll bring it up in a future episode. Not that I think anyone's watching at this point.
I would sing along, Greg. I'm sorry.
What's up?
We did take a long break from recording, unfortunately, because, like...
I mean, hey, I legitimately, in the last, what has it been, 3 weeks since we last recorded, I only asked, like, twice.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been just you. Mostly I did kind of want to wait and do this level when we were together, but I just really felt like playing this game again, so I decided to shoot my shot, see if you wanted to record tonight, and you said yes, so I said, we'll go for it.
Mm.
Oh, come on! I was just playing a video game.
So you know how Colin is like got into Ace Attorney recently, right?
I did not, but go right ahead.
Oh, I was discussing it with you. That's why I started playing Ace Attorney again. Is just because he was playing the games on his phone and started really enjoying them. But he just recently got into the crossover.
Oh,
He started playing it this afternoon, so I'm excited to see some of his reactions on that.
get back to that game.
You do need to get back to that game. Although at this point, I think it might be better if you just restart, because you probably don't remember anything.
I think I was gonna restart anyways, because I, like, messed up one puzzle and I didn't understand, like, how important pick-a-rots were.
Okay. I think I pushed that on you a bit too hard. They're not that important.
Yet again! Yet again!
Do we want to tell the Metroid story?
What?
So do we want to tell the Metroid story?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, go for it.
So, like, for a couple of years, I'm one of the, like, 17 people that own the Wii U. Because I actually thought the console looked like a lot of fun. Unfortunately, because of life, I wasn't able to play it much, when I had it. So, I let them borrow it for, like, a season while I was in a certain place for college. I'm not going to be specific on that.
I was going to say, all you had to say was gone for college.
Yeah. So what happened is they got like a couple games, and one of them was Metroid Fusion, correct?
Yes, it was Fusion.
Yeah. So, they highly recommended me the game because Metroid Fusion was supposedly the easiest one to get into.
I did not say the easiest one to get into. I never once said that.
Friendly to get into.
I never once said that.
No, you did.
No, I did not. I did not.
I swear you did.
No, I recommended Metroid Fusion because I knew I really liked it, and at the time it was the only Metroid game I had played.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know it wasn't the most beginner-friendly.
The point is, you very strongly recommended it, and, like, you got on my ass about not wanting to play it or wanting to, like, start on Super first. Because, one, it was the one that I had the easiest access to, because I was mobile. So I could just, you know, pop on, try and make a little bit of progress, go off on my merry way.
And at the time, I had not played Super Metroid because the one time I tried to play it, I got lost and never really went back to it until Dread was about to come out. But she keeps getting on my case because I was trying to push her away from the beginner-friendly game and go towards Fusion, which is not beginner-friendly. So...
And you did it, like, incessantly.
Look, man, I bought the game and gave you back your Wii U. I wanted my money to go towards something.
So what I'm saying is...
It's 100% fair. But at the same time...
Like, I bought that on your Wii U, played it one time, and then I had to give you your Wii U back because I was going out of town.
I'd love to catch up. I have to grab something.
And then by the time I got back, I had maybe 6 months before I was back, and then I decided, fuck it, I'm buying my own Wii U.
Yeah, exactly.
which was totally a good purchase. Although, I'm still ever so slightly annoyed at it. For reference...
Purchase?
So, you know this already, but I'm going to say it for the audience. I bought the Wii U, I want to say 60% of my reason was for Pikmin 3. I bought the system in late April, early May of 2020. Guess what was revealed in August of 2020? That's when they announced Pikmin 3 Deluxe. So literally like 2-3 months after I bought the Wii U for mainly Pikmin 3, because I loved Pikmin so much and I missed being able to play it, they announced a much better Switch port of the game.
I need to finish that too.
We'll play that when you're out here.
Oh, for sure.
2 is a little bit more higher priority because you haven't beaten 2 yet, but we'll play some 3 when you're out here.
2, I'm dreading going back to it because of the, that certain dungeon.
That is also kind of why I wanted to do multiplayer, just so that I could kind of help you out through the game. Although, it is going to be slight bit of learning experience for me because the mod only works on the GameCube version.
Oh boy.
So we're both going to have to get used to the GameCube controls, because that is one thing I was not going to, like, pussyfoot around. I forced you to use the Wii controls.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, well, I won't exactly say forced, because I did actually give you the option. I asked you, hey, do you want the Wii or GameCube versions of these games? And you said the Wii versions, so...
Yeah, I think it's because that was the one that I had the most exposure to.
And it's just... It's the one, honestly, for the most beginner-friendly option, the Wii version is better just because you're able to do more things with it.
Yeah.
Especially Pikmin 1, because in Pikmin 1 Wii, they added in, like, the Pikmin switching, they added in, you know, they fixed the bug of bomb Pikmin exploding when you whistle them. They fixed, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, they gave you the ability to rewind to a specific day if you can't get all the parts in 30 days.
It's rewind time.
The only thing they botched in the Wii version was just that the bridge and crushing glitches were somehow became more common than they already were. And to be perfectly honest, those two glitches kind of, like, I still play Pikmin 1 quite frequently, but not as often as I play 2 or 3 because of those glitches. And those glitches are actually the sole reason that I will never do a Pikmin 1 Deathless run.
It's basically impossible at that point.
Like, I have gotten really close. I have had times where, grand total, I've lost maybe 3 or 4 Pikmin to my own stupidity because I wasn't really trying. And still lost like 60 or 70 Pikmin on my file just because the rest of them got crushed. So when that many Pikmin are dying to things outside of my control, I'm not doing a Deathless run.
Yeah, like, okay, here's my thing, and, like, my personal reason for never wanting to play Pikmin 1 ever again. It's actually an entire area, and you remember...
You had a real fucking bitch of a time in the Forest Navel.
It was awful.
Like, I will definitely say that out of all of the areas in the game, the Forest Navel is the glitchiest area, so I'm not surprised that that's the area you had issues with. But, yeah, it's not really that surprising. Okay, do you remember the Lord Business fight?
Yes.
You know, the big thing with him is shooting him with the toxic goo?
Mm-hmm.
I was doing the fight so fast that the third toxic goo pump, it didn't even do the animation of shooting at the goo, he just fell over.
Jesus Christ.
Right into my hand.
Because he was still in the animation of shooting his laser at one of the other pumps to destroy it while I was pulling the lever, so it didn't actually interrupt the animation.
You know what to do.
I love shit like that. We need to do we're definitely going to be doing more LEGO games at some point, just because I absolutely love the LEGO games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of...
Saga Let's Play one.
I was going to say, that one is the only one I have 100%ed at this point. So, obviously that one's not going to be next. Because I like to be more familiar with LEGO games before I would Let's Play them. I should not be building those yet. I would like to be more familiar with a game before I Let's Play it, so I think if I were to do any LEGO game next, just assuming I were to do another LEGO game next, I would probably do either... Why am I pulling you? I would either do LEGO Harry Potter Years 1 through 4 or LEGO Jurassic World.
I think I'd rather do Jurassic World, not gonna lie.
That one, actually both of those, I guess, you could join me in co-op through remote play.
And then the viewers will see me constantly disconnecting!
Yeah, especially when I'm also streaming.
Oh, it's gonna be glorious, but good God.
Wait, there might be some episodes where we just simply can't do it in co-op just because the internet doesn't want to cooperate.
Yeah. That, Ethernet adapter thing is going to be an investment at some point.
Okay. Well, first off, the PlayStation has built-in Ethernet. You just need the cable. But also, I'm not allowed to use Ethernet on my system.
What?
I have actually asked my mom. She said no.
Oh, fair.
Which, I can't say, I can't argue with her on that. She pays for the internet, so...
Yeah.
That she doesn't charge me rent, so if I argue with her too much, she might start charging me rent.
I mean...
We have actually discussed it, so...
Mm-hmm. So one of the things says, I know my family would do it, just because different cultures.
I mean, I don't know. I think that they would like to see you go out on your own. This is kind of like that thing of, I want to see you succeed.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I've gone to my first bar, finally.
What do you mean?
That, group hangout that I showed pictures of? Yeah, that was that.
Nice.
Granted, some of us weren't feeling up to it, so we ran down to the corner store and grabbed some, liter sodas.
Yeah, something tells me that, I already know alcohol's not really my thing. Something tells me it's not yours either.
I don't see the appeal, because it's when you have the choice. This is my personal thing. If you like alcohol, just ignore this. My personal thing is that if a drink that's supposed to go with food specifically doesn't taste good or doesn't enhance the taste of the food or work as a palate cleanser, then it's not the best accompaniment for the food.
Honestly, alcohol started as supposed to be a food accompaniment, and it's become less of that and more just an escape for people.
Well, let's not get too deep into that, but I can see where you're coming from.
I don't know. I have legitimately tried it and didn't really enjoy the taste, so I
vomited at a fancy restaurant after having a sip of wine.
So it's not something I'm going to get into. If I'm going to drink something for fun, it's going to be Mountain Dew.
The only thing that I think I would have enjoyed at that place would have been the cider. But by the time I've gotten the, what do you call it, courage? Or the desire, I guess, to actually try it, we were already leaving.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna be oh yeah, wait guys, I gotta chug this down.
Hey, wait, let me buy this shot real quick. It's like, just go ahead, I'll meet you guys down there. You show up, you got a big ass bottle of cider in your hand. What did you do? I got thirsty.
We were actually, like, talking about how funny it would be if we would, like, snuck out alcohol in the soda bottles that we brought.
That would be the least benefit ever, considering none of you guys liked the drinks.
Oh no, I'm not gonna say that. Like, a good couple of us did have fun and did like the drinks there. It's just that the ones who were like doing the soda bottle thing, yeah, no, we weren't into it. So we're like, oh yeah, never mind.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
No, we could have gotten into some serious trouble because of like the place we were at.
That too. Plus, weren't you in like one of those? I assume this was during your college adventures.
Oh boy, like the most recent one? Or
No. You're when you were going to college out of town.
Oh, the soda bottle thing?
Yeah, was that when you were out of town, or was that where you currently are?
No, that's where I currently am.
Okay. I was gonna say, if it was when you were out of town, I was gonna say I don't think your dorm would have allowed alcohol.
Oh, I actually have a story about that.
Oh dear God. Okay.
I was not involved with this. I need to make that very clear.
I haven't even heard the story, and somehow I don't believe you.
No, legit. I was literally with my other roommates watching a TV show. And we were like discussing what we wanted for dinner because we hadn't eaten anything yet, and we were pretty sure that most places on campus were closing down. We also didn't want to make a walk all the way to like the mall that was like a ways away without a big group because you know, right?
Yeah.
So we're discussing like, oh, do you think we might be able to get some leftovers at the cafeteria? Or, like, just something, right? Because we looked in our pantry, and... Come on.
You're college kids. You didn't have anything in your fucking pantry.
We didn't have much. We had, like, expired cereal.
I'm amazed that college kids had expired cereal. You would have eaten that so fast it wouldn't have a chance to expire.
So,
You laughed, but am I wrong?
As you were discussing... Huh?
You laughed, but am I wrong?
I mean, kinda, because, like, I think it was expired when we got it.
Was it just, like, left in the dorm from the last people?
We don't know. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure we bought it. Or maybe, like, our friend gave it to us.
I was gonna say, how the hell did you buy expired cereal? I work retail. We don't allow that to happen.
Anyways. So... The point of the matter is, my roommate, she comes in extremely, like, agitated and panicked, and carrying, I think it was, like, bottles of wine. The point is, it was alcohol, and it was, like, a semi-wine bottle-y shape.
Semi-wine bottle-y shape.
I mean, I know that, like, alcoholic ciders can actually be in, like, those kinds of bottles, but it's usually wine, right?
Yes.
And you're not allowed to have wine in any capacity, even, like, cooking wine in the dorm, right?
Okay.
So she brings it in, stuffs it in her refrigerator, her super shitty cooked dorm refrigerator, and she goes, "You guys saw nothing." She runs back out in the hallway, and I never got context for what the fuck happened.
I imagine she ran in with it, someone told her that she couldn't have it, and she's like, alright, fuck, I gotta get it out of here.
Honestly, you might not be too far off, but I think she was covering for some dudes we were friends with, like, further down, the hallway.
Is that the same dudes that you had to run in and rescue the dog from?
Yes.
Jesus.
They were... something.
That was an interesting story for me to wake up to one morning.
I will not elaborate further.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't. Not on recording.
Yeah, no.
Why do I, like... Apparently all our even-numbered episodes are just turning into story time.
It's a pretty good, like, story time.
I mean, I won't deny that, but, like, episode 2 was a self-serve Karen episode.
Oh boy.
I still am very proud of the title of that episode. Because that was just super on the fly, but, like, doesn't that sound like it would be an entitled parents Reddit post?
Oh, for
Just like the title of one, just like self-serve Karen. Hey, back on topic to the game for a minute, I wanted to discuss this boss fight here. This is actually a reference to LEGO Batman 2. This was the main thing that Joker and Lex Luthor developed to kind of spit Joker gas all over the city and help Lex win his presidency.
looking cool, Joker.
Hence why when, just before it appears, and Joker's grabbing the battery, he says, I wonder if this has enough charge to bring back an old friend of yours. And Batman even recognizes it and said, not this again. I don't know, as someone who very, very much liked and still loves LEGO Batman 2, I was quite happy to see this guy return. And I've actually been playing LEGO Batman 2 again in my spare time just because I just bought the Xbox Series S and decided to buy a copy of LEGO Batman 2 on it just for the fact that I wanted to play the game again. Did you die?
No, I'm like focusing real hard.
What are you focusing on? What could you possibly be focusing on?
It's a boss in Kirby, and it's the one that I was thinking about that it was like actually hard.
Okay, what world are you in?
The Super Sandy one.
That explains it. I know exactly what boss you're on.
Huh?
I know exactly what boss you're on.
I'm trying to do the no-hit challenge because that's literally the only one I'm missing.
You just be patient, and remember that you actually have a dodge command.
How? Which one?
If you hold down one of the triggers, you'll guard, and then if you tap a direction right as he's coming at you, you'll do a Bayonetta-esque witch time dodge.
Oh, dude.
Because that was the boss that actually made me learn that. I didn't even realize there was a dodge in the game until the fourth boss, where one of the challenges was beat the boss without dodging, and I got it without trying because I didn't know there was a dodge option.
Oh my god, that's too relatable.
Did that happen to you too?
Yeah. I don't think I realized that there was no dodge, that there was a dodge option.
It honestly, it makes sense that there is, though, because he controls virtually the same as he did in the 3DS Kirby games, and he had I don't think he had a dodge in that one, but he had a guard.
Mm-hmm.
And that reminds me, I need to go back and play Planet Robobot.
Okay, speaking of this thing had a Switch thing, and now it's very similar to, this thing had a 3DS thing, now it's very similar to Switch. Yeah, I can see where they were going with that, and why they, waited for the Switch.
I mean, not like they had much of a choice, considering, well, you've been playing Samus Returns, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Samus Returns kind of was like the lead up to Dread. It was like Mercury Steam kind of proving that they had what it took to make a Metroid game. Because you can see a lot of the things that look like they first showed up in Dread actually were things that were in Samus Returns, and no one knows because no one fucking played that game.
I kind of regret not doing it, but at the same time I wasn't into Metroid games. And
No, you started, honestly, Dread and Super Metroid are like two of the best to start with. If you want my personal opinion on which ones you should start with, it's either Dread or Zero Mission.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do remember when Dread was first coming out, I remember you and I were discussing it, and you thought I couldn't handle the game just because you know I'm a little chicken shit.
Yeah.
And then I get the game, and I ended up just falling in love with it, and the Emmys were some of my favorite parts.
Oh, I love the Emmys. I just hate them.
You're in a symbiotic love-hate relationship with them.
Because I love their designs, I love the concept, and I love like how creative they got with like having to defeat them later on.
Speaking of Emmy designs, can we take a brief moment to discuss the Emmy amiibo?
Oh my god, that thing looks fragile as hell.
It actually doesn't. It looks really good. I have a different issue with it.
Oh god.
My issue is that it doesn't match any Emmy that's in the actual game. Not in
It's supposed to be the broken one, remember?
No, it's not, because it has both claws.
No, it's supposed to be the broken one before, like, it got yeet.
It actually more closely resembles the one that gives you the spider magnet just once the face mask is taken off.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't resemble the broken one because it has both claws, but it doesn't resemble the first major one because it doesn't have a faceplate.
It could just be the first major one that you wrecked its faceplate.
I do really like, though, that it has like that broken piece of metal that it's standing on.
Mm-hmm.
Although, as a result, you can't see the Metroid logo on the amiibo base.
Yeah.
It's just like how on the Banjo-Kazooie amiibo, you can barely see the Smash logo below him because the Jiggy takes up so much space.
I mean, it's fine. The Jiggy's way better.
Oh, the Jiggy is way better. I was so happy when I saw that. Although, they did fuck up the Jiggy shape slightly. I'll show you when you're out here, because it makes more sense in person, but it's not a perfect Jiggy shape.
Truly. Something only a true Banjo and Kazooie fan would notice.
Oh, absolutely. I will say, I've started to gain a really good, since my last episode of this, I gained, 8 new amiibo?
Yeah!
So
I got 2 of my dream amiibo, too.
That is true. So you got the Marie amiibo. What was the other one you got?
I got Smokey, the Yarn Yoshi.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about Smokey.
For people who don't, you know what? This actually merits explanation. I don't think I told you that I nicknamed Smokey.
You didn't, but I know exactly what you're referring to. So it makes sense to me. It doesn't make sense for the audience.
So unfortunately, yarn Yoshis are made out of cloth. They're crocheted. Because it's supposed to fit with the theme of the game. Unfortunately, that means they hang on to scents a lot easier. And my yarn Yoshi, when I got it out of the packaging, it smelled like smoke.
It's like when you get a used console and you turn it on and you smell that cigarette smell from the fans. Those who work on retro consoles know exactly what I'm talking about. They recognize that smell in an instant. You can tell what has and hasn't been in a smoker's house.
Yeah, so, unfortunately, we drowned that Yoshi in Febreze, the disinfectant Febreze, hoping, oh, maybe that'll be enough. And it was, a gentle spritz of it. Of course, I say drowned it, but, you know. And that didn't work. He still stunk really bad. So I went on a fierce, Googling journey, trying to figure out, how could I possibly clean this yarn Yoshi without damaging the NFC chip, right?
Right, because that one's not, not that they're replaceable on any amiibo, but that one especially is not really replaceable.
Yeah, and I was, thinking, well, it's a plush. I work with plushies quite a bit, just because it's a hobby of mine. So I was thinking, oh, maybe I can, just do something with the stitches. but the stitches are actually really well made. Can't
Yeah, they
mess
are.
with them in any ways.
Speaking of NFC and stitching, by the way, I kind of, when you're out here, I don't know how feasible this is going to be, but I kind of want to put a Guardian NFC tag in the foot of my Terrico.
I'll have to take a look at
I
it.
was going to say, again, I don't know how feasible that's going to be, but if we could do it, that would be really cute.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, but like back to Smokey. So Smokey, what had happened to him after like some intense googling and going onto a blog about how to clean retro stuffed animals, which is a lot of help. Because a lot of stuff in the 80s, it had like the wires and stuff intermingled with the stuffing and a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so one recommendation that I found and I was very fascinated by was that if you wrap up the plush in a t-shirt or a pillowcase, somehow that doesn't damage the electronics inside. And we tested it, and even my mom was on board with this too. She's just like, oh god, that thing smells. I want to test to see how we can clean it. Because that's just her jam.
Yeah.
So we take the Yoshi, we stuck him in one of my t-shirts that needed to be washed anyways, and we just kind of let him go. Our very gentle fabric cleaner, cold water, bada bing, bada boom. The little guy is...
Bob's your uncle.
Uh-huh.
Bob's your uncle.
Oh, God.
You're welcome.
I didn't understand it first, and then it hit me. So, and now he's, like, still hanging. That, by the way, that first wash did not get rid of all the smell, but it did get rid of most of it, and now that he's just been air drying in the washroom, we have him hanging by his little tag.
Poor guy.
I know. Smokey's been hanging around, airing out, and like he smells much nicer now. Not like 100% clean, but
I wonder if I wonder if you do another wash on him and like let him air dry again, if he'd smell even better.
I think so. I'm just being very cautious. I'm spacing out the.
Yeah, don't do it like one right after another. Just like have you tested the tag to make sure it's still working?
I did. It still works.
Okay, good.
That's why I was very surprised and very pleased.
Out of curiosity, does he count as a Yoshi in Smash Bros?
I don't know. I haven't checked.
I would imagine yes, but I don't know. I've seen weirder.
What my plan is, honestly, is just for the sake of restoring this amiibo, I'm actually just gonna keep them space out the washings as much as possible, because the most important thing is that you don't want the stuffing to get moldy. That's the real problem.
Yeah, definitely let him like dry out. Like I'd say maybe at most wash him once a month until the smell is gone.
No, it needs to be spaced out way more because it's wool. It'll hold on to the moisture a lot more.
For a month, really?
Yeah, that's serious. That's why they tell you not to get like wool sweaters wet, or like to wash them in the washing machine or stuff like that, because they just hang on to moisture.
I guess that's fair.
Only one can remain.
I don't know. Wool is kind of a pain in the ass.
Like, granted, the yarn Yoshi's probably made out of polyester, which it's not very similar to wool, but it's still something I'm going to be very cautious about.
Well, let's find out. I'm Googling.
Oh boy.
No, it is actual wool.
Oh yeah.
At least from my, 30 seconds of Googling. You know what's an amiibo I think that you should try to get your hands on if at all possible?
Oh boy.
You're gonna love this. The giant yarn Yoshi.
Oh my god, I love him, but at the same time, no.
Do me a favor and check eBay prices.
It's like $500 for it.
Are you serious? I wish I could say I was surprised.
I believe it was like more like a pre-order bonus.
It was definitely a pre-order. Emily. 130 bucks.
What?
I literally just checked eBay. 130 bucks.
Still too much, man.
Okay, but it's like a 3.5 foot tall Yoshi. You paid like 70 bucks for the Marie.
I did not.
How much did you pay for Marie?
It's 55.
Okay, you spent 55 on the Marie.
That's not $130!
No, but Marie is also only like 4 inches tall, not 3.5 feet tall.
You're not convincing me to get the yarn Yoshi.
I'll fucking buy it for you.
You won't, no balls.
That, legitimately, now it's kind of in my head, that's how I'll pay you back.
Hey, no.
Okay, what would you prefer, Marina and Skylink or a giant yarn Yoshi?
Yeah, Marina and Skylink.
That actually surprises me. I felt like you'd be really into the giant Yoshi.
Interesting and
Listen, as much as I love it, one Yoshi's enough.
bring me more popcorn.
What's up?
As much as I love it, one Yoshi's enough.
Okay, I'm buying it for myself then.
Oh my god.
Because I do actually, I have an empty plushie space in between Shantae and Roddy Tots. He would fit perfectly in there.
Fair enough, I guess. More power to you. I'm actually surprised.
Okay, talking legitimately here and not just being sarcastic, I do actually really want a Yarn Yoshi amiibo. And if I'm getting a Yarn Yoshi amiibo, I'm fucking going big.
I suppose.
Like, that's one of those go big or go home moments, and I'm going big.
Okay.
Mostly just because I know at some point you and I are going to end up merging our amiibo collections, and we already have like 5 duplicates.
That's fair.
So if I'm going to get a Yarn Yoshi, I'm going to get the one that you're not going to get.
Honestly, okay, so you know, I actually hear a stupid story.
Oh, dear God. Okay, what you got?
So, I wasn't there for this because this person is no longer affiliated with me in any way, shape, or form. I just got the information from the second one, right?
Okay.
So
Somehow I think I know who you're talking about, but I won't say anything.
No, for sure you do not know this person.
Okay.
So this person, them and their significant other, they had, like, a pretty sizable amiibo collection, specifically only Zelda amiibo, right?
Ah, just like I originally intended to do.
Yeah, and they had one of each one. However, the relationship did not work out.
Oh, no.
And they were far enough in the relationship that they had to get a lawyer involved to divvy up all the stuff they bought together on the joint account.
I mean, that's honestly kind of fair.
No, yeah, this is where the story gets kind of weird, but at the same time, like, completely believable. So, the lawyer, not understanding amiibo at all, just suggests, hey, why don't we just split the collection down the middle?
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, like, they're like, that is not going to work. These things are differently priced. The lawyer still doesn't quite get it. Basically says, you know what, lawyering time, it doesn't really matter, they're plastic figurines. This could get
you're gonna get fired saying shit like that.
No, like, at the same time, they were wasting a lot of their own money on amiibo. Like, they hired a lawyer did the amiibo instead of focusing on like the bigger things that were actually important.
I mean, I'm sure that the amiibo was not the only reason behind the lawyer. I'm sure it was just like the amiibo was part of it, but they were trying to divvy up everything.
Yeah, like the problem was they were focusing too hard on the amiibo out of, frankly, spite, from what I heard. And of course, at the centerpiece of this was a Wolf Link amiibo.
Oh no.
Yeah, so my kind of ex-friend, this kind of former friend, I should say, we didn't have a falling out or anything like that. It's just, you know,
Kind of just moved on.
Yeah. They got the Wolf Link amiibo, and their partner got, like, the Guardian amiibo. And, like, the lawyer determined, yeah, these are about equal value. So,
No.
right?
No.
The point is, the other person in this relationship was very petty, and they switched the amiibos last minute. Just so you could take the Wolf Link one?
Honestly, I can respect that because I love the Wolf Link.
I mean, yeah, and then, like, my, former acquaintance slash friend, they, like, told us the story and how salty they were at the fact that this dude had, like, been petty enough to take their Wolf Link amiibo. It's like, God, you got a lawyer involved for this. And I think I need to emphasize about this story is, like, the amiibo were a problem, but they weren't, like, the reason they got the lawyer involved.
Somehow I think it was the reason they got the lawyer involved.
No, they had a house together. Like I said, this shit was serious.
Ah, Jesus, okay.
Yeah. Be careful who you move in with, kids.
Yeah, like, okay, legitimate question, I'm not sure if A, you know, or B, want to say. Do you know how long they were together before they moved in with each other?
I don't know, because like I said, this was like a friend slash acquaintance, and I wasn't super in the loop as to like everything they did.
Okay,
Like,
because that's just the biggest piece of advice I can offer is if you're getting into a relationship with someone, don't move into them if you're not, like, give it at least a year of knowing them and like hanging out with them before you try to move in with them.
Oh no, I would say more than a year.
That's why I said at least. And within that time, you need to make visits to their apartment, like spend the night a few times just to see how they kind of live. Because there are times that I have seen where someone will like, yeah, let's move in together, and then they hate how that person lives at home.
Also good advice for like moving in with your friends. You never truly know someone until you live with them and see how they treat their bathroom.
I was literally about to say, you never know someone until you live with them and share a shitter.
Put it nicely.
I was gonna say, I put it a little more bluntly than you did.
Hey, Unikitty, I'm not gonna lie to you. That
Like,
You wake up Christmas morning to a weird smell. Merry Christmas! Shitter was full.
Jesus.
Please tell me you get that reference.
Pretty sure I do, but I'm not 100% confident, I'll be honest.
I want to see if you can figure it out.
Is that one Christmas movie with the light bulb scene?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
You finally got one of my references.
It was an easy one, thankfully.
It was an easy one, because everyone who's seen that movie knows Merry Christmas, the shitter was full.
Yay, I did it!
Oh, man. I don't care if it's almost summer. I want to watch that movie again.
I mean, mad respect if you can watch a Christmas movie in the middle of summer.
Christmas in July, man.
Actually, do you want to hear a fun fact about that?
Oh, dear God. Okay, what you got?
So the term Christmas in July was coined by an economist who said that the sales in July rivaled the ones that would happen around Christmas. Hence, Christmas in July.
I figured it was some retail shit. Like, I figured it was just like a marketing tactic to be like, hey, we got these great deals going on. It's like it's Christmas in July.
That's basically it.
It's almost like I work in retail and know how fucking marketing works.
Retail? It's hell.
Oh, it is. You guys already heard my self-serve Karen story, and I'm sure that over time I'll have more self-serve Karen stories or similar. Actually, okay. This isn't like a super big story, but I do, like, I've been working in the print center recently, and, like, over the last, I want to say, 3-4 days, I've legitimately had 7 different people come in for wedding invitation orders, saying that their wedding was the next day and they need those invitations or, like, banners or shit right then. I'm like, you have to plan this shit in advance.
I can't...
I was about to say, is this a deer in the headlights moment?
No, well, kinda, because I won't say that I've seen it happen, because I haven't, but I've heard about it happening a few too many times, particularly with wedding dresses.
Which is not something we deal in. We're a print center.
Yeah, no. So I have to go into dress shops often, just because I have a big family and we often do big events, right?
Even though you've worn a dress, what, 3 times in your life?
Worn it a couple more times, actually. I do like wearing dresses. I just, prefer pants.
Fair enough.
Yep.
You good?
Sorry. I had to handle something.
I was gonna say, I thought I heard you talking to someone.
Yeah.
God
Quick
damn it.
side tangent. How much longer are we gonna go for the recording session?
I'm in the middle of a Ninjago level right now. We're gonna end it as soon as the Ninjago level's over.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
I want to try to keep a formula of, if at all possible, 2 levels per recording.
That's fair. I was just asking because my food's here.
Of course your food would show up in the middle of a fucking recording.
Hey, shush. Anyways, so like the wedding dress fiascos. But I've worn dresses a few times. It's just a matter of I prefer pants.
Which is totally fair enough, but also funny.
Mm-hmm. So what happens most often, if you don't know, they have general sizes for wedding dresses, and then they can make modifications to them at the person's order, right?
Yeah, it's like when you go to get a tux, and it's like they have the general sizes, and then you go see a tailor, and he gets it fitted a little more snugly.
Yeah, exactly. So the problem is, if you want something very specific about a dress, you better go in with time in advance, or there may be a pretty big chance they don't have that dress for you.
Here's my opinion on it. When it comes to planning a wedding, you need to start the planning and start getting the materials for it 6 months in advance at minimum.
Well, I personally think a little more, honestly.
Again, at minimum.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the optimal way to do it is to give a year warning.
Mm-hmm.
Because, especially if you have friends that are out of town, you don't want someone to have to RSVP from out of town on like a week's notice.
For sure.
So you need to give time when shit like that is going on, because, weddings are a big day. You want it to be correct, and if you want it to be correct, you need to give it time.
Actually, you want to hear a, really bad wedding story?
Oh, God, what you got?
So the place, where I was not at the wedding. I need to make that specific, but, the place where, they would do all, wedding stuff.
Like the reception?
Huh?
The reception? Or are you talking about the wedding hall?
Like a wedding planner thing.
Okay.
Like a wedding planner place.
Yeah.
I don't know what those are actually called.
I think they're just called wedding planners.
Okay. But the place there, what had happened that made this kind of weird. A couple comes in, one dude's wearing like, what would you call it? It was like a kind of steampunk gothic kind of look. Very distinctive.
I was about to say, that sounds very interesting for a wedding.
No. Like, they came in here, like, just normal.
Oh.
Like, they went there to plan their shit.
Oh. Even more interesting, but go on.
So, she had, like, on, like, a bunch of, like, anime, like, she had, like, a bunch of anime stuff, right? And he would come in and they had, like, a lot of disagreements about what they wanted out of the wedding. Because, Anime Six, she wanted something a little more anime-inspired. She wanted cherry blossoms. She wanted, like, pink pastel.
Oh, dude, cherry blossoms at a wedding, that sounds awesome!
It does! Like, the problem isn't, like, what they were picking, it was the fact that they didn't know what to conceive. They were both literally like, my way or the highway, honey. Like, very aggressive.
It probably meaning that they shouldn't be getting married if they can't even decide on shit for their wedding together.
Yeah. The worst part was them picking up Kit.
Oh, no.
She wanted, like, this elaborate, how would you explain it? She wanted this elaborate, like, 3-tier cake, and I remember it was something like, oh, she wanted this particular anime that was popular at the time. I want to say, like, 2011-ish? And she's very adamant, like, it has to be these characters in this particular order.
I was gonna say, 2011 popular anime, would that have been Fairy Tail?
It was Fairy Tail, actually. Yeah. And but the thing is, there must have been something from, like, later Fairy Tail, because it was, like, some kind of intricate design, and they kept warning her, like, you can try to get as close to this as possible, but, like, there's no promises, right?
Yeah.
So, the problem is that this directly clashed with what the other dude wanted. He was like, I want this steampunk thing that, like, has gears and stuff, and it's, like, completely overtaking the entirety of the cake. And, again, they just did not want to compromise.
Jesus. So is this a story that you know, like, you've seen it happen, or is this just you have friends who are wedding planners and thus you know of it?
I saw it happen, and I don't know how it ended.
I wish you did know how it ended, because I want to see the ending to that.
Because it was just a place where, like, they would do kind of general wedding stuff. We went in, I hung around some places wherever I could sit, and then that was that. No better way to describe it, honestly.
Okay, legitimately, now all I can think about is just, man, cherry blossoms at a wedding. That sounds awesome.
Honestly, I've seen it work.
Oh, it absolutely would work. That sounds great. Like, could you imagine as, like, the traditional, you may now kiss the bride, and, like, as they kiss, just cherry blossom petals are just being scattered everywhere?
Just someone throwing the cherry blossom petals?
Yeah, doesn't that sound awesome?
It does! At the same time, though, I know someone's gonna playfully play some sad anime music from, like,
it's like the intro to Sailor Moon Crystal Season 3.
Oh, God!
The one with the... Was that the one where they had the one, like, still image? Or was it, it was like Sailor Saturn and Chibiusa, and they were, like, completely nude?
I think so, and that was still weird.
Yeah, I always thought that was weird back in the day, and it's still weird even now.
It's really sketch, isn't it?
Because, like, they're the two most underage characters in the whole show.
Lex, this is even for you.
Just not doing this for the bit. Actually, Tribute is like 200 years old, thus making her the oldest of all the Sailor Scouts.
We pulling out some fucking Tim Allen's The Santa Claus shit here. You're 900 years old. Grow up.
Oh my god.
Do you know what I'm referencing?
Yes, I do. Do I hate it? A little bit.
Okay, the first movie was good. The second and third movies kind of sucked.
Yeah.
The third one especially sucked, because, like, the whole point of that movie, like, the whole concept of it was, like, what happened if he had never become Santa in the first place, like, the whole time travel to make Jack Frost Santa. And that doesn't happen until, like, the last half of the movie, and it's resolved in, like, 10 minutes.
Because they needed to milk Tim Allen's titties again. Come on, man. Do you think anybody ever even knows who Tim Allen is anymore?
Oh, absolutely.
Fair, that's fair.
Tim Allen is still a huge actor.
I haven't seen him in anything, that's why I asked.
He's still Woody.
He's not. Hold on.
Are you having to look this up?
I think I have to.
Tim Allen is Woody, Tom Hanks is Buzz.
Was that?
You legitimately don't fucking believe me, do you?
Tom Hanks voiced Woody.
Your punishment for cheating.
Okay, it was the other way around then. Fucking whatever, I was close. Toy Story. I got Tom Hanks and Tim Allen there, I just got them switched.
Now, no need to get violent. I think we all need to cool off.
You're right, okay.
I mean, you were right to not believe me about him being Woody, but I was right in the fact that he's in Toy Story.
I knew that was wrong because I was sure it was Tom Hanks. I couldn't remember the dude's name.
Yeah, I just got it backwards in my head. I originally did think it was Tom Allen. Tom Allen.
Yeah.
the greatest way to end this debate. No, I did think it was. I thought it was Tim Allen as Woody and Tom Hanks as Buzz, but it's the other way around.
Oh boy.
But I remember seeing interviews back when Toy Story was first coming out about like how much fun the two of them had recording together.
Yeah, actually, I want to hear a very silly story.
What you got?
I don't remember what award show this was, but there was an award show where Tom Hanks had to sit next to Big Bird, and they couldn't let the Big Bird just walk in. He came down this aisle and was just, thanks, excuse me, I need to sit next to thanks. Because Tom,
You could just let me
I don't know. That's actually kind of creative.
it was great. Tom Hanks was like absolutely losing it.
I don't know if I feel like he'd enjoy that. That's a great nickname.
No. Like, he wasn't losing it in a bad way. He was laughing along with the audience.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, like, that is absolutely something he would find hilarious. That's totally his sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Speaking of Tom Hanks movies, have you ever seen Forrest Gump?
I have.
That's like one of those classic movies that I feel like no one's seen anymore. It's like, it's kind of been lost to time.
I will admit, that movie is kind of a product of its time, too.
It very much is a product of its time, but it's like, it's one of those movies that no one's seen, but those that have seen it adore it.
Mm-hmm.
Although, going on that topic, have you ever been to Bubba Gump's?
Bubba Gump's?
Yes, they have one in, well, I don't know if I want to say the exact town because it'll put where you are, but it's in one of the tourist attractions near you.
I've never, well, even if I was there, I don't think I could eat there.
You know what? Fair point. I forgot you're allergic to fish.
I've learned just how allergic I am.
Yeah, and that's really depressing to me because I love fish.
Don't make me feel bad about my allergies.
Like, I know it's not something you can help, and I'm not going to hold it against you, but if there's ever a night when, you know, I'm eating not with you, I will be getting fish.
That's fine. I can respect that.
It's like when my mom and I, when one of us is eating dinner without the other, we get one of the places that the other person's vetoed.
Yeah.
Like when my mom's eating on her own, she'll get either, I almost said Kung Fu Panda. No.
Oh no, I'd like some Kung Fu Panda.
What the fuck is that place called? Panda Express, that's what it is.
Right?
I knew it was Panda something, just for some reason all that was popping into my head was Kung Fu Panda.
Because there's that new Netflix series coming out.
Oh my god, is there really?
Yeah.
I didn't think that was popular enough to get, like, I knew the first movie did alright, but, like...
I mean, like, it's less that, like, oh, it's popular, and more like DreamWorks writing out their contract with Netflix.
I guess that's true, and DreamWorks has a lot of shit they can milk.
Like, the Dragon stuff, unfortunately, is no longer doing all that well, so that's...
How to Train Your Dragon?
Yeah, they're, like, soft reboot series.
I never actually saw that movie. Was it any good?
I didn't either, so I can't pass to our judgment. All I really know about it is that it kind of doesn't live up to the hype that was the third one because it decides to go into a very weird direction.
There was a third one?
The third one was actually really good.
What? What the fuck am I saying? It's DreamWorks. Of course there was a third one.
To be fair, How to Train Your Dragon 3 did have to happen.
What do you mean?
Because it actually wrapped up the story really, really nicely. The movie's been out for years, I can spoil it. The dragons don't end up staying in Burke at the end of the third one. Because they were just in too much danger by some evil Viking guy. They are sent away for their own good.
Fair enough.
So they're sent literally to the world of dragons.
It's a little gaudy.
Legitimately, you're talking about this, all I can think of is Spyro.
Them separate.
Jesus Christ, man. I'm trying to actually explain it.
No, I know, but I played way too much Spyro as a kid, and that's basically the plot of Spyro.
Mm-hmm.
What little plot Spyro actually has.
Well, yeah. But the point is, like, that's what happens. And it's not like until years later when Hiccup is an adult again, he meets back up with Toothless, who has basically forgotten him. And then Toothless suddenly remembers, like, oh, wait, you were cool. I liked you. I won't eat your face off.
Hinky?
I mean, it's a dragon. Some people are into it. Have you seen what's on the internet about Toothless?
I don't even know who Toothless is, so... I don't know shit about How to Train Your Dragon. I have not seen anything relating to it.
I am surprised. That was one of, like, the biggest movies.
I didn't watch movies a lot when it came out. Because when that first came out, that was at a time where I didn't really have access to watch much of anything. I was living with my aunt and uncle, so
because I didn't watch the first movie until like a couple of years after it first came out.
like by the time I was able to actually watch it on my own, I just never really had an interest.
Whenever you have the chance, like, go watch it.
I'm sure I would like it. It's just one of those movies that has never really been on my radar. It's kind of like the Marvel movies. Like, I knew I would like them, I just never got around to watching them. And even now, I haven't watched most of them. No, we're not doing a Marvel marathon when we're out here. We tried that already.
I don't plan on doing it.
We tried that once already, and we got one movie in. You remember that weekend?
The best one.
And I'm not.
Well, did we start with Captain America, or did we start with Iron Man?
We started with Captain America.
That movie was good. It's just for some reason, I guess just watching it with you, I was so distracted by just chatting with you that I didn't remember watching any of the movie until I went and watched it myself.
And then you're like, oh yeah, that happened.
No, legitimately, when I was watching it myself, I didn't remember a damn thing that happened. I don't think I actually watched it when you put it on.
I believe it.
Because I think that was when we were constantly chatting, like we wouldn't shut up the whole night, and I was also playing video games on my 3DS. I think that was the night I brought my 3DS with me and was training up one of your amiibo, and just as a result, I wasn't paying attention to the movie because I was chatting with you and playing Smash Bros.
It just be like that.
Or you know what, that might have actually, I think that was the weekend I got the DLC for Xenoblade. Because I remember that I did actually get the DLC for Xenoblade during one of our trips down there. Because I remember waking up, I think it was like Saturday morning, we got there Friday night. I woke up Saturday morning and was messaging the friend that had bought me Xenoblade 2 originally. And she was telling me to send her a link to the DLC because she was going to get me that. Because the game was early birthday, the DLC was late birthday. And I just remember being really excited and like punching in the code as soon as I got it to go download the DLC. And of course, not all of the crystals that you can currently get were available at the time because I got the DLC, I think, in like, I want to say maybe April.
Yeah.
So like not all the core crystals were there, but I opened up all the ones that they had at the time, and I got one new rare blade.
Oh,
I remember who it was too.
I don't think I gave Darkstorm enough of a chance.
It was Vale.
Oh.
And she proceeded to become one of my favorite personality blades. I really like her. Anyway, I'm gonna head out.
Oh my.
Oh right, this is a recording.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot we were actually recording this.
I did not, I'm starving.
I'm so sorry. On the next episode, we will be continuing on with the main story. We have gotten back 3 of the 5 keystones, so next up we're gonna go after number 4. See you guys on the next one.
Yeah.